Hello everyone, thank you for watching this video. My name is Arnaud. I'm an IT automation enthusiast and I'm also a ServiceNow developer. Today I'm going to talk about an application that we will push on the ServiceNow store, which is a CMDB connector that will use Ansible as a data source. So to be very, very clear, what I want to achieve is to have data from the Ansible facts. If you are familiar with them, Ansible facts is a way for Ansible to gather information about the host it's going to launch automation on. But here we will use all these facts to populate the ServiceNow CMDB. How does it work? We use Red Hat Ansible Automation Platform or AWX to schedule the gather system facts on target inventories, and then it will expose them through its API. So it will fetch information about OS, IP address, NIC, storage device, software installed, running service. Then ServiceNow will pull these facts from the API of Red Hat Ansible Automation Platform. It will parse the payload, store it on a staging table in ServiceNow, and then use ServiceNow extract, transform, and load, and also the IRE, the identification and reconciliation engine of ServiceNow, to uniquely identify the CI, their attributes, their relationships, transform it into ServiceNow accepted input, and load all these little Ansible facts into the right place in ServiceNow, basically. Why do we think that Ansible is the right tool to do the discovery? I think one of the main reasons is that we noticed a few customers that didn't really want to put machine credentials in the cloud in ServiceNow. Usually the credentials that you use to do this discovery require high privilege. They need to launch a lot of commands. So either you have a very complex sudo policy to manage, either you provide them root credential, root permission, and it's not ideal from a security point of view. The other reason why we think it's a great discovery solution is that our app, the installation and configuration takes probably 2 hours at a maximum, and then you are ready to discover your entire Windows and Linux environment. You don't need to introduce new user, no agents, no firewall rules, and we have a guided setup in ServiceNow that's really simple to follow. So Ansible is also great because it's vendor agnostic, also hosting platform agnostic. It's not a connector that works only for VMware or for Azure or whatever, so it doesn't need to know about the virtualization platform. And currently we support Linux and Windows device, but in the future we want to support as well network device. And what is great there is that the facts for a Cisco switch or a Juniper switch, they will have a lot of similarities. So for us as developer, it's easy to write some codes that will work for different type of device. And our connector has a really good value for its cost. We want this to be relatively not expensive, and you don't need an item license subscription in ServiceNow. Okay, the video, how I want to do it, I will briefly display the configuration you need to do on Ansible Automation Platform to make it work, and then briefly display the configuration on ServiceNow, and then we will see the result. So let's have a look. So what you need to do is to schedule this playbook, which is very basic and using built-in function in Ansible. So you do a gather fact true, and you gather facts about package, at least if you want this information to go in the CMDB, and facts about the running services. So you launch this playbook against your inventories. It's read-only. When you do that, they will create these facts for each of your hosts, and they will expose it through the API. And you need to schedule this gather fact regularly if you want to have data that is up to date, of course. When that is done, you will simply need to create a user that we will use to create an API token for ServiceNow. This user doesn't need a lot of permission. It will only need permission to read inventories. It's an inventory viewer. You can select the inventory you want this user to be able to read. When it's done, you can create an API token to do that. It's quite simple. Ask the user to create a token using Ansible automation platform. Once you're logged in, you will see this tab right here, token. That is only available if you're logged in as the user. And here you can just create a token. You don't need to specify anything. You select the scope as read, you create the token. And that's all. You will receive an API token that we will use in ServiceNow. So that's it. That's the only thing you need to do on Red Hat Ansible Automation Platform. And then let's have a look at how it works on the ServiceNow side. Our connector is available in the ServiceNow store. You just click install. You can do a trial in your test instance. And you will receive this application in your menu when it's done. Then you launch the setup, and you will be guided on how to make it work. So here it will tell you what you will need to do to perform the configuration. You will need, of course, the URL of your Ansible automation platform. You will need an API token that we just create. And then you need a mid server if your Ansible automation platform is not publicly reachable. Let's start right away. So you will see 3 big steps, and on the first step we have 2 tasks to perform. Let's click on it. It should automatically place you in the right application scope. On each step we really guide you through where you have to click and which information you need to put. So it's mentioned create a new connection and credential here. I enter the URL of my Ansible automation platform, the API token that I created. It creates, and then I need to tell it to use the mid server. Here, I will select the mid server I want. I update. Then I can mark this step as complete. And the second step will simply be to test the API token. And we can see that is working. So you mark this step as complete. And the next step will be to select the inventories you want to synchronize. So there you can see that the connection has been done to the platform already, because the inventories I have here, ServiceNow is already aware of them. And our connector at the time of this video only supports Linux and Windows facts. In the future, on the roadmap, we want to integrate more things, but at the moment, I only want my Linux inventory and Windows inventory to be synchronized to the CMDB. So I will submit. Okay, the inventory list has been successfully updated. I hit mark as complete. And here, so as I said, in Ansible, you need to schedule the fact gathering. But you also need to schedule the pool from ServiceNow. There you can use all the flexibility that ServiceNow provides to set up schedules. What you could also do is in your playbook. I didn't do it, but in your playbook you could also call your ServiceNow instance when this run. When the gather fact is done, then you launch the discovery in ServiceNow. So that's entirely possible. And so I will just launch the execution now. I don't configure the schedule for the purpose of this video. So the first schedule is about specs and basic host facts. Then we have two different data sources for the running services and the installed package on your server. There again, I will just execute it now to do it once to demonstrate it on the video. So I hit mark as complete. Execute now. And mark as complete. And that's it. So as you can see, the configuration of the connector takes really 30 minutes at maximum. Of course, you need to schedule the gather fact, but the process is really easy. So now let's look how it looks like. It will take some time to work on the first time. So we can see already some packages are being discovered. And in a few moments, we will see other CMDB class that will appear. So we can see that after a few minutes, we have many more CI in our CMDB, and I will now have a look at the results. So let's pick a Linux server and Windows server. And here you go. You have the OS version, IP address, checkbox to say that it's virtual and what is the hosting platform. You have the disk space, the RAM, default gateway, CPU information. You find network adapters, IP address, storage device, software installed, the running services, which can be really useful to understand what's running on your machine. So if you can see that HTTPD is running, but it means that it's a web server. You could decide to create some tags to say, okay, this is a web server, and so you can easily make groups and have your own logic in ServiceNow to group the CI together. So that's for a Linux server, but we have the same information for a Windows server. Operating system version, IP address, CPU information, all the specs, network adapter, storage device, Windows service, software installed, I think are being populated right now, but you have them also for Windows Server. Also, one thing I want to demonstrate is what happens if we modify some parameters of the virtual machine. So what I will do here is to raise the memory to 16 gigabytes, and I will also create a new network adapter. Okay. So I am doing the change. Let's see when it's done. Okay, it looks completed. We can see that we have the previous value, so 8 gigabit of RAM and 2 network adapter. So I will now relaunch my gather facts. Let's quickly check if it's replicated on the fact of the host. Memory, yeah, we can see that it has been updated. So let's now launch the synchronization of the host facts. If you have created schedules in the guided setup, this is done based on your schedule, but you can also either from the data source or from the scheduled import module in ServiceNow, you can relaunch the sync. Okay, the scheduled import, the sync is complete. Let's have a look at the CI, and we can see that the RAM is updated. We have the new interface, and IP address is there as well. Same thing will happen if you decommission the server. We will change the status to retired when it disappears from the inventory. Same for network adapter, storage device, software, and running services. If the existing item is not scanned in the latest sync, we will either change the status, either remove it. that's about it for the demonstration. Thank you for watching, and do not hesitate to reach out to us. We have the intention to make frequent release on this application, and to add to support more resource in the future. So for sure, we want to integrate it with the VMware infrastructure, and as I said, the network device is also on the roadmap. We want to add switch, router, probably firewall as well. Thank you.